air. When horses first meet, they blow into each other's nostrils. The signaling bulk, tail, unexpected result, 99-1, something out of the blue, crossing the wire, winning by a nose. Twisted heart, finishing last, apparently limping, awkward from the starting gate, stale horse, race too young and hard, degenerated cells, waste-laden blood, hobbling home. Two colors, very bright magenta pink or grayish green, injection in the neck. Good death in a quiet, open, grassy area. Control the fall, reduce the reflex movements, will drop suddenly and go over backwards, mouth open and eyes rolled back. Loud exhalations and gasps, muscle tremors, jerkings, just death, playing the reflexes, tinkering with its new toy, but no panic, no pain, no trauma. If the veins can't be accessed, if the animal is thrashing, then death is through the skull. Stand on slightly higher ground, point down towards the jaw, give a foot or two, breathe deeply and squeeze the trigger between heartbeats. The horse is dead if the eye is touched and there's no blink. A cremated horse yields 45 pounds of ash. Thank you.
There's 100,000 poets for change. Okay, we can't forget that. It's supposed to be about for change. That's what the event's about. I'm here representing Greenpeace tonight to have a campaign on right now for saving the Arctic. I've got flyers, I got free stickers, and there's a petition if you want to sign up. If you've got any questions, feel free to come see me. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to, given the time limit, I'll just read two poems. One from this book, Nevermore, a book of ours, Meditations on Extinction. It's a book that...
Sorry?
Well, that was good.
That was good. Okay, say it again.
Nevermore.
Are we good? Yeah. I was supposed to do that before, sorry.
It's Nevermore, a book of ours, Meditations on Extinction. It's a book of combined natural history and poetry. I'll read, the book is also wonderfully illustrated by four of the world's greatest natural history illustrators that I had go to the British Museum and find the last example of a dodo and all the animals that became extinct in the last 300 years. It's also a book where I guarantee you can read it for 15 minutes and have 14 bizarre things to say at dinner. I'll read the poem about the Eskimo curlew, who the first account we have is the first European account of the Eskimo curlew is by Christopher Columbus, and he was wandering around trying to find something in the Atlantic and was going the wrong way, and suddenly these flocks of curlew came over his ship, and he realized that they were shorebirds, not seabirds, so he turned around and followed them and found America. And I guess you could say that it's the curlew's own fault that they're extinct. It's called The Cry of the Curlew, Eskimo curlew. It became extinct in 1985. It was the most numerous bird aside from the passenger pigeon in North America, and it had a migration pattern that went from the Canadian Arctic all the way down the east coast of America, across the Caribbean, all the way down to the tip of Argentina and then back up the Andes and the Canadian Rockies to the Arctic again. So it was 35,000 kilometers. Aside from the Arctic Tern, it was the most, like the longest migration route of any bird. Cry of the Curlew. Knut Rasmussen, among the Inuit, claimed the word for poem was inertsa, meaning a breath. Neither speech nor song, but fixed musical diction, a flow of beautiful, smooth words recited in a low voice, delivered in a moderate pace, a crystallized form of natural language that must be worked and shaped as smoothly and carefully as soapstone. Word images and word charms polished like walrus ivory. All pieces are learned from the elders. They are passed round and admired like fine carvings or well-made weapons. But do not use them too often. Do not wear them out. These charms are made for protection against disease, against evil effects of shooting stars, of cunning foes, of envy. When death occurs, strict mourning taboos are observed. When the taboo is lifted, the bereaved ones use these charms, murmuring them each to the other and each to those now gone. Rasmussen also records another Inuit word for poem, tagladia, meaning to name. There are 40 common names for the Eskimo curlew. One Inuit name means swiftwing. A Cree meant sweetgrass. A Namdaki name meant beaked one. Many other names are made in imitation of their various cries. Among the Inuit, they are called Pipiuk, Tora Tora, Akapiganak. To the Cree, Wiki Minansu, Wiki Mananu, Wiki Wanaso. This recitation of their many names links them together like prayer beads on a rosary, grants them the passage of their many souls across that other world's continents. In the outports of Labrador, they are called the Gallow Bird and the Clou. Among the Quebecois, they are the Corbeau de Eskimo. While the farmers of Ontario called them little sicklebills. Market hunters named them doughbirds and futes in New England and New York, and prairie pigeons in the American West. The islanders of the Caribbean greeted them as wood snipes, chittering and shivering curlew, while the Latinos of Venezuela and Colombia knew them as Zaparido Esquimal. In Uruguay, it's Cola Polar, and Corla Campino in the Pampas of the Argentine. So this poem is my word charm, smooth and polished as I can make it. Let us hear their names again. Little sicklebill, sweetgrass, swiftwing, and your voice carried like your wings on the north wind. Pipivilk, Tora Tora, Wiki Manasu, Wiki Mananu, Wiki Wanasu. I'll read a poem in a different tone altogether. It's from a book called Just Say No to Family Values. It's, I'll read the title poem, if I can find it. And it's kind of a flashback to the 60s, moved from about the 90s, and here we are now. It's called Just Say No to Family Values. With apologies to Allen Ginsberg, Charles Manson, Nancy Reagan, and Martin Luther King. Put them in a nice group. It begins with an allusion to Ginsberg's poem, Howl, which I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by drugs. There's a little variation. I've seen the best minds of my generation destroyed by accountancy. I've seen blue-eyed and golden-haired youth poisoned and driven to an utter insanity by an overdose of wedlock. I've seen wild-hired prophets and New Age goddesses twisted and disfigured by mortgage rates, by bank loans, by car payments, by credit card bills, by exorbitant parking fees. I've seen inspired genius and virginal innocence sacrificed on the altar of the goddess, the PTA big counters, and on the green swords of the diabolical throbbing lawnmower god with his demonic tabernacle choir of plastic pink flamingos. I've seen the divine philosophies and utterances of young Plato's mistaken for the mindless yapping of Mickey Mouse's dog. I've seen satellite television short-circuit the minds of artists and cause their eyeballs to implode and melt down when confronted by the tasteless pastel saccharine terrorism of Care Bears and My Little Ponies. I've seen enchanted poets offer up their God-given golden tongues as small tokens of sacrifice for a steady job in advertising, a AAA rated secure medical dental plan, a paid up fund for the kids' college fees, a new spin dryer, and a stupendous 20-volume leather-bound Encyclopedia Britannica with any updated fact files guaranteed to the year 2095 AD. What has happened? What has happened to us all? What has happened to the promise of youth? Those dreams, all of them now seem to be protected by Neighborhood Watch and are contained within the borders of well-trimmed lawns with little white picket triple K security fences or parked in double-locked garages next to Volvos with solid warranties. Like so many slumbering, stupid, down-at-heel, floppy hush puppies. What has happened to our hopes and dreams, those wonderful drug-induced hallucinations of our high school years? God damn those flamingos. Those bloody pink plastic flamingos. I think it has something to do with career counselors. All that advice about being sensible in high school, about being responsible, being caring and nice. Nice, yes. Nice particularly has a lot to answer for. Nice is the best way to kill off those angels in us all, those grasping, selfish angels we all were in our youth, those inspired angels who told us to live now and for ourselves. They were killed off. So instead, we live for someone else and never got around to living for ourselves. Let's face it, we've demonized the wrong people over the decades. Our woes are not due to the family values of Charles Manson, but the diabolical family values of Nancy Reagan. The time has come to stand up and say no. Just stand up every time you see a pink flamingo and say no. Write it in a banner in the sky. Our slogan, our motto, our mantra, brothers and sisters, shall ever after be, just say no to family values. Just say no to family values. Just say no to family values. Repeat it, chant it, live it, and we shall climb the mountain, brothers and sisters. And from the top of that mountain, we shall see a new world coming, a new world that we shall overcome. Yes, we shall overcome. Let us take that first step against the armies of the moral majority. That first step was the hardest. Go ahead. I'll be right behind you. Sure I will. Go on. Okay, you first.
And for the introduction. I'm glad to be here. This year marks my 10th anniversary writing poetry. I have experienced ups and downs, happiness and pain. I'm very grateful that poetry has changed me to be a better person, a loving person and a caring person. So here I want to share this wonderful experience and I want also to share the message. The message is be yourself and loving yourself and be true to yourself and also be compassionate and love other people as well. So being myself, sometimes it's not so easy. So here is my poem to share this experience. The poem titled, My Accent. My accent, it is charming. I assure you, I assure myself, and choose to believe so. Languages have colors. I want to show you my tender blue, but you cut off with forks and a knife, quicker than my chopstick taps. My accents grow trees, trails, and winding roads to West Coast landscape. It points to the open sky, yet clouds are too heavy and form raindrops. My papers collect them and join in silence. I have hesitated many times before I speak. Now it develops teeth, even with gaps between. I decide this is my voice. Thank you. How was my accent? Okay, now I want to share, I want to read another new poem. Unlike David Gilmour,
That's right.
I love both male and female writers' works. This year, for the LPD Festival #7, we were celebrating Doris Livesey's books. So I have read 3 of her books, and I love them all. So I was inspired to write a poem of my own, The Self-Complete Tree. Here I want to share it with you. The Self-Complete Tree, after Doris Livesey. No one is surprised. They call me Emily. The girl inside me answers, yet hands extending out. I receive only myself. There are walls still. There are Emilys, 3. Yet I'm Anna, the one who wants to escape a stale life, the one who could end with a broken love. Listen, you say, call us any name you prefer, but in the end, woman is our name. My hands fold on my knees. My heart loses its reason. Be a woman, I hear it everywhere. And no, that means no name. A tree breaks through. A tree breaks through the rock, the wall, and the dark, pops into my backyard. I catch a calling from heaven. The moon face looms. The tree stretches out. all branches upwards. I approach this sky ladder, a shadow following me. Hesitating, I hear a voice from the roots rushing into me. Let go all the flowery leaves, let light shining through. Removing all my belongings, I see the shadow disappear. I nod. The tree sways, figures fall into my palms. I wave my arms and spread them. Now we are free. Thank you. Now I want to invite my friends Mark Harry to come up to perform poetry and music with me. Mark Harry is a guitar teacher and a musician. He read my poems and then early morning, a thrush song breaks through hazes of pinkness. Leaves swirl in my teacup. The aroma from home. Near my window, a bird of paradise opens. Wings up high in the sunny expanse. Tonight, we will take off. Hearts will unfold under the moonlit crown. Across the ocean, clouds of cherry blossoms are waiting. The warm breezes blow, rings of petals land silently on my snow-drenched home.
This performance is because of someone named Charles Roach. Charles Roach is the greatest man I've ever known in my life. There's many wonderful people and wonderful friends in this room. But Charles Roach is somebody who is a true activist and a true believer in equal rights. And he passed away October the 2nd of last year, and I had a self-imposed mandate that I was going to do some things in honor of him. And here we are almost a year later, and I've hosted 2 shows today in honor of him. Charles Roach passed from this world on October 2nd, 2012. Mr. Roach was a partner in the firm of Roach and Schwartz Associates. He was the founder of the Caravana Festival, as well as the Black Action Defense Committee. Mr. Roach went to the Ontario Superior Court in 2012 with a class action suit to argue that the oath of allegiance to the Queen of England as a condition of Canadian citizenship is unconstitutional. Go figure. For those of us who have had the honor of knowing, working, and sharing with him, he has been even more. Charming and gifted performer, an inspirational and supportive leader, a driving force in the formation of IFPOR and its constitution, and a true friend. We salute you, Charles Roach, and will continue to band together and fight the good fight in your honor. The case that he was doing up until his death was just dropped in the Ontario Supreme Court under the grounds that the oath of allegiance to the Queen of England is a normal byproduct of living in a free and democratic society. Rakia Tope, who is also a mainstay at Ellington's Cafe, which is where I met Charles, she is one of the people that's taken up the fight, and she's going to be taking it up to the Supreme Court next. Charles told me once that if you want to be a people's poet, you have to read poems about things that people are going to be able to relate to, and you're going to have to end your poets on a note that they're going to know that you're finished your poem. So I hope that I accomplish that with such as this for Charles Roach. My well-meaning heart cannot contain the world or even its petty desires. What lies outside of me is bigger than I am. the pains and hopes and dreams of everyone I see. So much more than I can comprehend exists in the land I see and think I know. Because when I show up at a moment such as this, someone could be hungry, someone may have died, someone may be impatient for change other than me. Someone may not want to hear the sob story I have prepared for a moment such as this. And on that happy note, I'm going to leave. I have hosted a show this afternoon at Base Tune, and I had longtime friend of Mr. Roach's, Steve Hall, perform after I did that, and he performed a couple of pieces in honor of Charles Roach. And now in this esteemed position for this evening's show is Norman Christoffoli. Norman is a poet, spoken word performer, and publisher of the Labor of Love magazine. He believes that too much emphasis.
Thank you, Patrick. Well, what Patrick didn't say is probably the most damning thing of all. I'm not a poet, but because I've hung around